Well, and here we go. Our first battle of the night, the top 16. Here we go. Forrest Wang taking on Michael Essa.
All right, here we go. First battle, top 16. Forrest Wang out front. Essa getting chased. Here we go into the initiation. Forrest Wang, nice heavy angle there. Essa down quite a bit. Before top 16. Wang brings it in. Tights it up. Essa back there quite a bit. Essa now trying to massage his way into that rear clipping zone. Essa trying to tighten it up. And bring it into the final rear clipping zone is Wang and Essa. Kudos to Essa, following traditionally a slower car. Essa isn't one of the fastest cars either, but very capable, has heavy angle and has in the past. So look at that, Essa tapping the wall, scraping it for quite a bit of time, leaving his mark literally on the track and the wall. I mean, this is the final round, Ryan. You have to let it all hang out. As Forrest Wang now applying the pressure around that final clip into the rear clipping zone. Essa and Wang, a spectacular showing by both these gentlemen. Going to the judges, Brian, Andy, and Ryan. Forrest Wang, Brian, Andy, there it is. It's unanimous. Forrest Wang gets the win. We're some competitive drivers. Now, how are they going to go head-to-head? This should be a fun one, Ryan. So Odie bested Conrad Grunwald. Look at Odie, look at the angle, but now, Odie actually surprisingly dropping down. Conrad staying high. Like the flick, the aggressive transition from Odie. Keeps it off the wall, though. Compromising that rear clipping zone to tighten up to that front clip. Good navigation, really kept it between the lines as Conrad Grunwald. All the drivers are kind of getting that one tire off through that chicane. And go off. Ready to go. Conrad Grunwald, let's see. Whoa, look at Odie! Whoa, Dr. Odie slams into Conrad.
You hate to see that happen. That was turning out to be something very amazing by Odie. We'll have to go back and take a look at that. Now, bear in mind, on that bank, you're pretty much full throttle all the way, so Odie taking a very aggressive move right here on the inside. You can see he gets on the brakes to avoid Conrad, then he makes contact there. Conrad spinning out after what looks to be the contact from Odie. We'll take a look at it one more time. You can see right here, Conrad wavers a little bit. Odie's on the brakes, makes contact, and then Conrad comes out of drift here, and Odie swings on by.
Going to the judges, Odie Bakshi's, Conrad Grunwald. And there it is. It's unanimous. Conrad Grunwald gets the win and advances on to the great as he's going against Mohan, where Kyle Mohan has not beat Saito. They've only seen battle against each other once, but Saito, look at that. Wow, great chase job, slowly inching closer, but seems a bit twitchy there. Daigo Saito not completely settled as Kyle Mohan is on it right now. Saito does gain that proximity. Coming at last clip, Mohan struggling quite a bit of speed, but Saito, that allows Saito to lunge forward, show some horsepower.
Well, here we go, Jared. You can see Kyle Mohan has obviously made some improvements to the vehicle. He's very smooth and consistent, staying nice and high on the bank, as is Daigo, but right there he makes a little bit of a flub. He comes off the bank early. It causes him to miss that inside clip as Kyle stays pretty consistent right here. Nice job on the bank, coming off just a little bit early here. It allows Daigo to come up on the inside. Nice attack by Saito right here. Good transition by Daigo as he dives back in, really pours the pressure on here against Mohan and crosses the finish line.
They're about to put it on and send it. Here we go, Saito out front. Wow, look at this gap. A huge gap between these gentlemen. And Saito going hard into that rear clipping zone. Would like to see Mohan gain that proximity as a fire ablazing underneath that RX-8. Bring it across the finish line. Let's see which swipe we go. Brian says Daigo Saito. Andy says Daigo Saito, and it's unanimous. Daigo Saito gets the win. As Gucci seems to be running strong too, but fortunate for these guys, they know what to expect. They've driven with each other before. Achilles Radial, Toyota Sora Nishida initiates strongly as the Goosh, Ken Gucci, tries to reel him in. Coming off the transition into that front flip. Both of them perform nicely. Gucci dropping into formation like a fighter jet. Oh, just as I say that, a big correction, falls off and exits stage right. Ken Gushi retires from that battle as Nishida completes it. Dio Shihara will lead Dean Carnage Carney. That Dodge Viper will be giving chase. Japan versus Ireland. Here we go. Dio Shihara initiating into the bank. Let's see where he stands. Dean Carnage Carney compromised the angle to get that proximity. Woo! Dean Carney. The Irish spirit right now is strong, but no way! Dean Carnage Carney lighten up the Achilles tires and lighten up the wall. Flame shooting out as Dio Shihara rounds out the course, and Dean Carney takes it hard into the wall. Let's make sure he's okay. Ryan, let's take a look at this once again.
Yeah, I was thinking in my mind watching at this part of the battle right here that Dean Carney was playing a dangerous game. It's a very aggressive move, but look at this. As he comes up on the inside, he pushes a little bit too hard, pushes him to the inside, and as he transitions back, he's offline. He makes contact with the wall there, and that is the end of the run for him.
Look at this percentage of winning, 67% for Osbo as opposed to Mats Barabo's 25%. Both these guys rookie of the years. Here we go. Is this a championship run? Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo initiating. Great angle. Mats Barabo back there quite a bit, but he's a killer in that big drift limo. Back there quite a bit. Now can he strike carry that momentum, that big heavy car into this rear clipping zone? And here comes Mats with that 2JZ Mark II into that front clip. Osbo performing a great lead run right now, bringing in that rear clipping zone. Boom goes the dynamite. Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer, a flawless lead run, Ryan. Here we go. Mats Barabo, Frederick Osbo does the hammer stop here. Mats Barabo initiates, dropping way low on the bank. Osbo drops into formation like a fighter jet in that 4-cylinder turbo. Scion TC. Oh, Mats Barabo, huge angle. Osbo keeps his composure. Great performance by Osbo. Barabo with great angle. Osbo, how he kept his composure, I'm very surprised. Bring it on around, and Mats with a little twitch at the end. Osbo is a man possessed. A great showing there. He could have easily been taken out by the back end of that big swinging drift limo that is Mats Barabo's vehicle.
Well, that is definitely championship level driving by Frederick Osbo. As you can see, Mats is on that low line. Frederick takes it right with him, doing exactly what he needs to do as a moving clipping point. Watch this right here. Matt gets wide on the angle. Frederick sees it. He anticipates it. He's able to tuck and dive back in right there. Does not make contact. Nice job on proximity as he closes the door right here as Mats comes up on that inside clip. Frederick back around to the inside, shooting out towards his outer zone. Mats tries to max out the angle, but Frederick Osbo is right there.
I think the Barabo stops here. And there it is, Brian, Andy, and Ryan. Frederick Osbo! What field is on fire. Here we go. Going through that start chicane. Field, absolutely just dominant performance right now. Taka going through the course. Field, a killer, out on track. So Matt Field running through the course right now, putting on a clinic, a killer run by Field. Taka Iano not even part of the equation, unfortunately.
I can only imagine what the discussion between these two guys might have been before this battle here. You know, I know they're friendly, but they both want to win.
They want to win. Vonnegut Jr. knows what he thinks. He says, if you're going to do it, you got to go through me, bro. Oh, and Vonnegut Jr. correction. As Vonnegut Jr. corrects, goes into the wall. Chris Forsberg out front. Transitions into the inner bank. So Vonnegut Jr. a correction. Forsberg navigates around that front clip. Vaughn gets out of shape, and Forsberg pulls across the line. Ryan, right out of the gate, Vonnegut Jr. makes a mistake.
Definitely not what I expected there. Well, let's take a look at this and see if we can find out what happened. You can see initiation right there. Vaughn, he initiates and then he loses it, gets on the brakes, falls back. Now he's back on the gas. It's obviously going to be a big reduction for Vonnegut Jr.
The Mustang RTR brand expanding worldwide. Chris Forsberg about to go against Vonnegut Jr. Let's see if the Hoonigan advances on. Chris the Force Forsberg initiates, tapping the brakes, dropping down on the bank. Forsberg applying the pressure, slowly gaining some distance between the two. The pressure mounting, and Vonnegut Jr. goes in the rear bank. Coming into that front clip. Not an inactive chase, but would like to see closer, closing that gap towards the end. Whoa, almost getting into a tussle there. Going to the judges, Chris Forsberg says Brian, Andy, and Chris Forsberg gets the win and advances on to the Great Eight. Here we go. Forrest Wang. out front. Conrad Grunwald giving chase. Wang keeps his composure. Conrad Grunwald a bit twitchy on the bank, but now getting that proximity. Can he tighten it up? Forrest Wang. Look at how Dial Force is grabbing a lot of speed there, though. We talked about how speedy or lacking of speed is Forrest Wang. Conrad really seeming to struggle there in that chase position. Not very clean. He needs to tighten it up, but it gets difficult. I mean, Forrest Wang grabbed a lot of speed on that second rear clipping zone.
Well, let's break it down here. As you can see, Forrest Wang initiates in the bank. Conrad Grunwald is right there, just a little bit less angle. Then he tightens it up a little bit. He is twitchy, like you said. Watch Forrest Wang right here on this inside clip. Perfect. Right there, but you can see Conrad Grunwald was about 3 feet off. Then you can see Forrest right here on the wall trying to shoot out as wide as he possibly can. Conrad staying with them pretty well as they come up on this inside clip right here. Both drivers do a nice job right there transitioning back around as Conrad trying to close the door here, but Forrest Wang stays wide and does a nice job in the lead position.
Where my Conrad Grunwald bow tie stands out. Makes the noise. Here we go. Megan Racing. Hancock Tires, BRE. Chevrolet Camaro strong out front. Conrad massaging that F14, trying to get door-to-door with Grunwald. Transition. Conrad Grunwald into that second rear clipping zone. Forrest Wang brings it in. Conrad a lot more comfortable out front, but Forrest Wang closes that gap and into that final rear clipping zone. And Conrad and Forrest Wang, great showing by both these gentlemen. Conrad he seemed a bit twitchy there on the lead, so there it is. Brian Eggert says Forrest Wang. Andy says Forrest Wang. It's unanimous. Forrest Wang gets the win and is in the Final Four. Yeah, Nishida is strong out front, and the horsepower difference, whatever. I mean, it's just, it's a number, but, I don't think it's going to come into play. His drivability is really showing. Daigo Saito hasn't been exactly, see, there's that twitchiness again. If I'm a judge, I'm looking at that on form, on how you navigate the vehicle. But look at the purple and green Achilles all over the track. Daigo keeping that proximity. I liking it, loving it, but just has to drop back as Nishida. I mean, if this is a qualifying run for Nishida, it's a great showing. I liked how Saito had that proximity, just massaging the car. Would like to see him a little more settled. Seems almost, it's acting almost like a all-wheel drive car, excuse me.
You want to see him get in the pocket and stay there and be fluid and consistent. You can see Robbie Nishida, no real wavering on the bank. Daigo is very, very close right here, trying to mirror the line. He wavered a little bit, but it's just going to be a minor deduction as both drivers go a little bit wide right there on that inside clip, with Robbie Nishida getting the better of that zone. Then Daigo on the attack right here, tucks up. He does make a mistake. It causes him to fall back just a second, but all that horsepower, he allows him to roll the throttle right back on. He gets back on it, then falls back again.
Here we go. Saito and Nishida. Initiating into the bank is Saito. Nishida back there quite a bit. Now is when the horsepower comes into play, but Saito dragged it on the wall. Transitioning into the rear clipping zone, the second on the inner bank is Saito. As Nishida gains that proximity and slams into Saito, and Saito continues on. Both of them going for the Turbo Life Cup, presented by Turbo Bike Garrett. Daigo Saito unanimously gets the win. Yeah, I mean, this, he won the championship in 2011. Here we go. Dai Yoshihara, Frederick Osbo, championship contention on the line. Dai Yoshihara initiates strongly in that Falcon Tires Subaru BRZ. Frederick Osbo is right there. See how we navigate past that front clip. Dai Yoshihara right on it. Frederick Osbo cannot be shaken. Hold stump, living up to the motto. Dai is dragging the wall. And past that front clip into the rear. As Dai builds the rear zone, crosses the finish line.
Well, that was close.
And Ryan, I mean, these guys have seen battle against each other 6 times, with Dai Yoshihara winning 4 out of those 6.
Well, look at this. As you can see, Dai and Frederick initiating both basically on the same line here. Frederick's trying to stay as close as he possibly can. No major mistakes from either driver right here, as both drivers hit that inside clip with good angle. Trying to see if Frederick Osbo can close the door. You can see Daijiro Yoshihara fills that entire gap. So does Frederick Osbo. He's right there. Not a lot of mistakes. Both drivers showing a lot of skill out there. There's the first little sign of separation. But it was a great lead run by Daijiro.
Here we go. Send it. Is this our 2014 champion will? The hammer stop here as Osbo tapping the brakes. Dai Yoshihara, a little bit of shimming there, trying to gain that proximity. They deciding keep it close as Osbo dialed into that rear clipping zone. Dai Yoshihara losing some angle, getting close, nosing in and into that final rear clipping zone are Osbo and Yoshihara.
Well, Here we go. Here we go. Let's take a look at this run by Frederick Osbo. Look at Dye makes a little bit of mistake on the beginning. Just a little shimmy there. Loses angle for a second. Frederick Osbo's on that mid-high line. Coming across his first inside clip. Both drivers are wide there. But Frederick Osbo moving the way. It's his job and role and responsibility as a lead driver. He does stay wide on this inner part of the bank right here. You can see right there. That's where Dye makes a secondary mistake on the bank. And right here, Frederick Osbo shoots out wide. Dye with a little bit of less angle right there. So if we were to criticize, those would be the only things. But it was by no means major mistakes by Dye. We'll have to see how the judges take this into account. Very close run here.
All right, Ryan, going to the judges. Brian, Andy, and Ryan. Osbo, remember, championship contention. Is he still in it? Did Yoshihara have enough to take out Osbo? Going to the judges. Brian says, one more time. Andy says, Frederick Osbo, and Ryan says, Frederick Osbo is still in it to win it. The 2014 Formula Drift Championship is still up for grabs. Here we go. Forsberg out front. Field giving chase. Forsberg. Throwing it in to that rear clip. Field applying the pressure. He's right there. Field is applying and looking like a neon shadow as Field gets thrown off course. Field makes a mistake as Forsberg continues through the entirety of the course, bringing around that final clip and into the rear clipping zone. So Forsberg rounds it out with Field. Man, lost for words.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's take a look at this, Jared. You can see Matt Field very aggressive on initiation here, staying very close to Chris Forsberg. Forsberg very consistent, locked in. Nice job right there. You can see Matt Field. This is where it happens. He makes a big mistake right there. He goes on the other side of the clip. That looks like it's going to be a 0 for Matt Field. We'll verify that. But big mistake right there by Matt Field. The second half of this battle.
All right, here we go. So Field with that deficit. Forsberg. Field finishing into the bank. Field. Great angle from Field, getting high. Forsberg still applying the pressure here. But now this is when push comes to shove. Sometimes literally. That's Forsberg now getting that proximity. Into that front clip. Field taps that front clip. Now Forsberg noses in. Almost too close. Almost parking it was Forsberg. Brian says, Chris Forsberg. Andy says, Chris Forsberg unanimously gets the win. Forsberg advances on. And away they go. Again, this is the final four. Irvindale around the world. Who's going to get the win? Who's going to get the championship? Force playing nice and high there on the bank. Pouring it on. Look at those bright neon STR wheels standing out as Daigo Saito dives in, having some trouble hanging with Wang. Can he salvage the chase run there? As Wang brings it around in the rear clip. Saito lacking the angle as Wang is completely maxed out. Coming to that last rear clipping zone, Wang, Saito showing some dominance, showing he's got the horsepower. Now, we talked about Wang lacking the speed. I mean, in qualifying, he does so well, but now in head-to-head, especially against Saito.
Well, I think Forrest Wang is writing himself some big checks tonight because he is so consistent. Look at that right there on the bank, so close. Daigo Saito makes a mistake right here. So get on the e-brake for a second. It causes him to go offline. Forrest Wang consistent right across that inside clip right there. You can see he's also tight on this outer zone. Now, this is where Daigo really starts to make a difference here. He's able to close the door right here against Forrest Wang, get up on the inside right here, tucks up right here against Forrest Wang, and just shows some dominance towards the end there. But Forrest Wang made basically 0 mistakes.
All the way to the podium. Here we are again. Daigo Saito can win. Hang with Saito. All right, here goes Daigo Saito initiating good angle. Killing it absolutely on the wall. Saito. Wang not part of the equation. Wang hoping that Saito will make a mistake in order to grab some proximity and some excitement as Wang. Ryan, just 2 independent runs. Brian says Daigo Saito. Andy says Daigo Saito. Ryan says Daigo Saito. It's unanimous. Saito is going to the finals.
Chris Forsberg against Frederick Osbo, but they've only completed 1 succession of battles here tonight. This is it. If Chris Forsberg wins, he's your champion. If Frederick Osbo wins, he needs to make it to the finals and win the event.
Let's make some noise, Irvindale. The championship is on the line. Get on your feet. Irvindale, stand up. Forsberg leading. Osbo giving chase. Make some noise. Forsberg initiates into the bank. This is for the 2014 championship. Osbo is right there on Chris Forsberg's wheel. Transitioning through into that front clip, into the second rear clipping zone. Is Osbo and Forsberg. Mano-a-mano, blow for blow. The battle around the world. Good transition by Forsberg, and Osbo is right there A killer chase job by the Norwegian Hammer.
Everybody's getting their money's worth tonight, right? That was unbelievable. Oh, well, here we go. Chris Forsberg in the front. Fredrik Aasbo dives in. Aggressive move from the get-go. Forsberg on a mid-high line right here. Look at the proximity by Fredrik Aasbo staying on lock. Transitioning right here is Chris Forsberg. Both drivers do a good job on that inside clip. Fredrik Aasbo locks in right here. Forsberg trying to stay wide on this wall as he can. Fredrik Aasbo dives in once again. Coming up on this inside clip number 2 right here. Aasbo trying to tow it in. Falls back just a little bit, but an incredible lead run by Chris Forsberg and an amazing proximity chase by Fredrik Aasbo on the bank and pretty much through the rest of the run. Incredible start to this championship battle.
I mean, my heart is racing just from excitement, but this is for the big trophy. Again, if Forsberg wins, it's his. If Aasbo wins, he has to take it all the way to the top and beating Saito. It can all unfold right here, right now. This is round 7 of the Formula Drift Championship 2014. Champion Ryan Sage giving the play-by-play. A big gap between Aasbo and Forsberg. Can he close the gap? Can he get that proximity? Aasbo riding the wall. Great job by Aasbo. Good transition. Forsberg not as close as Aasbo was to him. Now closing the gap is Forsberg. Dialing it in towards the latter part of the track as Forsberg is bringing it home. Make some noise for Forsberg and Aasbo.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Well, here we go, Jared. Fredrik Aasbo in the lead position. Chris Forsberg in the chase position. Aasbo a little bit better job on the bank, staying wider and a little bit in front of Chris Forsberg. Forsberg on the attack right here. Watch this move on the inside. As you can see, Fredrik Aasbo does not fill the bank as the best he could, but then he shoots out wide right there. Chris Forsberg takes advantage of it, comes up on the inside right here, and then really closes the door towards the last part of this run. So both drivers showing some incredible skill, both in the lead and the chase position. This is as close as it gets, but was it enough for one driver to edge out the other? Can the judges make a case for a winner here, or will it be a one more time? If Fredrik Aasbo wins here, he needs to win the event. If Chris Forsberg wins here, he is your 2014 champion.
Taking a look at the side-by-side battles. So you can see Forsberg and Aasbo. Forsberg leading on the left, Aasbo leading on the right. Aasbo, a great chase job going past that front clip. I mean, Aasbo, watch him as he chases down Forsberg. He actually taps the wall right there. You see him, and he did not get sucked up. That could have been devastation for Aasbo. He kept it together. Forsberg was back to quite a bit, gained the proximity in the latter part of the track, but allowed Aasbo to really shine right out of the gate.
Well, here we go. I see scores dropping. Fredrik Aasbo wins. He needs to win the event. Forsberg wins. He is your champion.
Going to the judges, Fredrik Aasbo, Chris Forsberg, Brian, Andy, and Ryan. Going Brian. He says, Fredrik Aasbo. Going to our next judge, saying, one more time. Now remember, if Forsberg wins, he is your 2014 champion. If Aasbo makes it, he has to go against Daigo Saito, and he has to win the event to be your 2014 champion. Going to Andy Yen, he says, Fredrik Aasbo gets the win, taking out Chris Forsberg. Be a hero. Who's going to be the hero? Will it be Fredrik Aasbo, or is Daigo Saito going to go 3 for 3, 3 in a row here at the House of Drift? Aasbo initiates Saito on the back wheel of Aasbo. Is Saito bringing it in past that front clip? Is Saito correction? A bubble from Saito. Salvaging and getting that proximity. Is Daigo into that front clip? Is, wow, nice job by Saito, almost getting some damage. I mean, just clicking the boxes. Aasbo is just dialed, settled.
Yeah.
Just transitions are clean.
I've got no resting heart rate right now. It's beating very fast. And you can see right here, nice job by Fredrik Aasbo staying nice and high on the bank. Daigo Saito's right there with a little bit of wavering. You can see on the transition right here, Daigo does fall back a little bit, losing that air on that inside clip. He's able to get back on the throttle. A little bit of shimmy right there as Fredrik Aasbo stays nice and tight on that outer bank. Key position right there from Fredrik Aasbo. But then Daigo Saito tucks in right here, really showing that proximity. So we saw a couple mistakes from Daigo Saito in the
red lights are on. Send it! Irvindale! Daigo Saito navigating the game. We got a clean start. Going in. Fredrik Aasbo. Not as much angle, not as much proximity as Daigo Saito once again drives the wall into that front clip. Is Saito a quick transition into the rear clipping zone? Is Saito coming off the wall? Is Saito close proximity, leaving Aasbo in the dust. Is Daigo Saito Ryan, a great showing by Saito and Osbo. Ryan, let's dissect this run with a fine-tooth comb.
So the first run, Frederick Osbo, nice lead. Daigo, a couple mistakes, but really good on proximity, some aggressive moves. Daigo nice and high in the bank in this run. Frederick Osbo trying to get up there with him. Daigo establishing a little bit of a gap right here as he comes up in the inside clip. He does miss that inside clip. A little bit of a mistake right there for Daigo. A little bit of wavering right there for Daigo, but look at the gap right here. Frederick Osbo falls back. That's the furthest behind we've seen him all night, trying to tuck up right here. Can Daigo get into this outer zone? He gets out here, trying to maximizing angle. So Frederick Osbo not having as good of a chase as Daigo does.
Let's take a look, side-by-side comparison. Osbo leading on the left, Saito leading on the right. You can see Osbo. Ryan, if you want to talk us through this here real quick.
Yeah, you can see both drivers are high on the bank. Daigo getting a little bit better at the battle of proximity here. You can see the transition to this first inside clip. Daigo misses it. Frederick's able to hit it in the run on the right here. Daigo swinging nice and wide. Frederick nice and wide on his lead run. Daigo a little bit of straightening right there, but it's really the proximity difference, I think, in his second run that's the most noticeable from Frederick. So the judges are going to have to weigh that against the mistakes that Daigo made, just minor ones in the chase position. And you can see right here as we come across this last part of the course, Daigo sticking with Frederick as that gap is established on the right split screen there. So
we have our two finalists because we saw them do battle. These are your final four drivers here at round 7 of the Formula Drift Championship. First of all, let's make some noise for all the final four drivers. Irvindale. Chris Forsberg grabbing 4th place here at Irvindale. Moving on down the line. Now Gittnuts Laboratory, SCR S14, grabbing 3rd place. Make some noise for Forrest Wang. The final fight. Irvindale Speedway, celebrating 11 years of Formula Drift competition. The scenario is, if Frederick Osbo wins, he also wins the championship. If Daigo Saito wins, Chris Forsberg would be your 2014 champion. Without further ado, I announce the winner here at Irvindale, California, the 2014 Formula Drift Irvindale winner. At round 7, the final fight, presented by GoPro. The winner at the House of Drift is Daigo the Ninja Saito. Frederick Osbo grabs 2nd place. That means Chris Forsberg is your 2014 Formula Drift champion. Round of applause for your final four. Your winner, Daigo Saito. Frederick Osbo, 2nd overall. Forrest Wang, and your 2-time Formula Drift champion, Chris the Force Forsberg. All right, so here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Dean Carnage Carney. And look at this, nice job into that. Oh, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. hangs it out there as Dean does as well. Wow, Ryan, that got a little sketchy there for both these gentlemen.